Hey everybody, good afternoon. It's Wednesday afternoon. I was thinking it was Thursday today. I honestly don't know where I am. I'm either not going to bed at all or going to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning or going to bed at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and getting up all night. I just don't know where I am. Also, I've had telephone calls from I don't know who. I don't recognise the numbers. If I don't recognise the numbers, I'm not going to answer. I'm not up to telephone calls at the moment, except with my kids, really. That's about all. I don't want to. I don't want to get into conversations on the phone. Haven't instructed him. I've been speaking to this lawyer, solicitor, about getting some of my money back because the solicitors I retained to get my compensation have kept half of it. And I didn't know the small print that was in the thing that she was getting me to sign when the barrister was here, and it was just like, sign this because your bank won't insure you any longer, and we're going to have to go with this insurer. Are part, I think, of the lawyers who I got to represent me. And normally it's a 25% cap on what they take, but they've taken over 40% of my money. And of course, with giving money to the kids and Alfie's funeral and the headstone, it's just not right, is it? So anyway, this other solicitor will see what he can do. Hopefully he'll get something back. If he doesn't, I'm not going to sweat it. I'm not desperate for money, and I've got as much in my bank now as I had before all this started, plus some left over from what I gained, so I'm okay, I'm fine for money. It's just the thought that somebody has cheated me, you know, it leaves a real nasty taste in your mouth, really nasty. If anybody watched the video yesterday when we went to Alfie's grave, I'm sorry about having my hand halfway on the camera as I was walking around showing you the headstones. And then it cut off, didn't it? As I handed it to my son to film, it cut off. So I'm sorry about that, but I hope you got a little idea of how Alfie's grave is looking now. It's starting to look like a nice little garden I wanted it to be. I've got one more plant to go in, so they'll be in a line, 3 of them, and very tasteful. And of course the headstone is absolutely phenomenal. It's gorgeous, as I showed you in the video the other day that I did, and the inscription as well is beautiful, what I decided to write. And underneath Alfie's name and his date of birth, I've asked to be put a courageous and gentle man, and that about sums Alfie up. It's strange missing him like I do and grieving like I do when he wasn't here with me anyway, and you sort of prepare yourself in some way, but you think you do, but you don't, and you can't prepare for this. And you know, this man I love, who I wanted back whole with me, I believe he is back in good health now, wherever it is. And I hope he's watching. I hope I'm doing everything right that you would have wanted, Alf. I hope I am. I'm really trying to. Anyway, on to what I am doing. I have ordered paint, Cuprinol paint, Forget-Me-Not blue, to honour Alfie, and all the fences in my garden are going to be painted Forget-Me-Not blue. I've had to replace 2 panels on that side because they've been away for going into 2 years now, and everything's falling down, rack and ruin, and I'm probably going to have to replace another 2. I'm keeping the front of their place kept up to a certain amount. The other neighbour does the rest. This side is my fence anyway, and I've had to replace 2 panels that they keep battered in, and then another 2 are going to be replaced next Tuesday or Wednesday. So those will be 4 I've replaced on that side, 2 on that side, and probably another 2. So you know, it's only a small garden. It's almost both sides that I'm going to have to do, and it's not cheap. You know, by the time I've got both the sides done, it's going to cost me over £1,000, about £1,200. So I'm painting them, and what I would normally do if I'd wanted to paint them would be, even though that's my fence, I would have gone round and said, I'm going to be painting my fence, blah, blah, blah. If you wanted to paint yours the same colour, I'll give you what's left over in the tin, you know, till you get some more. But he has gone and painted two of my fences on his side. He's painted pink. It's all dribbled through. He's painted the top part pink, which is all dribbled down. Without asking, and you can't do that to your neighbour's fence legally. You can't. And you know, I was humming and hawing about whether to do this, about whether to go round like I normally would and say, look, I'm going to be painting. But he's painted all of his and all the other side pink. But no, I'm not going to bother. And if he doesn't like it, then tough. So it's about time I started standing up for myself. It really is. Got the other one down here, the madman, who swept all the leaves into the middle of my drive the other day and left them in a great big pile because I'd been sweeping next door's drive. Some I was getting up and my son was dumping for me, but I had to put some in the bin, and the rest I couldn't put in my bin. It's illegal to do it. So I swept them all in a pile over on their side of the garden. So he's not very happy that I did that, and he came out and got them all up. Swept them all up and got them up. But then he got a load and pushed them all to a pile in the middle of my garden, which has left the middle of my drive, looking really muddy and a mess. He's a darn nuisance, he is. He can be helpful at times, but you know. So it's about time I started just, you know, I think I read something that, because I was looking to see what the thing was about fencing, and there were other people complaining about neighbours banging nails in, which he's done as well, to their fences, and to put baskets up and everything. And somebody said, you know, it isn't petty to go and to stand up for your rights, because it's the start of, if you allow them to get away with one thing, it's the start of a slide into them doing more. And that's very true, because he texted my son. He had why did he have my son's number? Oh yeah, he came running out one day to say to my son, the drain's leaking and they need to get the ladder up on your mum's side because they can't reach blah 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 on his side. And he came running out to me first, and I said, well, it'll have to be when the COVID situation is alleviated, and I'm not letting anybody in my house walking through. They'll have to go around the entryway. And the next thing I know, he's running out to my son at his car. Your mum said she won't let anybody in and she doesn't want anybody doing anything while she's there on her own. So, can you let me have your number, blah, blah, blah. And my son did give him his number. And so that was done. And then he's contacted my son about the fencing. When is your mum going to get the fencing done? Because, and it's going to rot at the bottom. And my son said, this was a few weeks ago, and my son texted him back to say, my mum's got a little bit more on her mind, having just lost her husband. Don't mention anything to her. Leave her alone. She'll get it done when she's ready. And I am getting it done because I don't want to be looking out my kitchen window at it. Not because he said so. But he's texting my son also to say, there's a little fence out the front. Is this your boundary or mine? Well, it's mine. Only I'm going to paint it. I don't know what colour. He said, and your mum can go half and I'll paint her side as well. You know, bugger off. I don't particularly want it painted at the moment, but if I do, it's going to be in the forget-me-not blue, the same as out the back. As I say, I'm starting to stick up for myself, which I've always kept a low profile, and it's been a mistake. Yeah, it's petty in the scheme of things, in the scheme of my life anyway, and what's going on. But it's something that has to be sorted out. And one paintbrush came this morning, this thing, and it says, for painting tough surfaces, concrete, blah, 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 bricks and aerated concrete. But on the website, it also mentioned for fences. So I'm hoping it's going to be all right to do the fences. I think it should be. I've never done anything like this before. I just don't want to be dependent on my kids all the time, and I can't get the bloody thing out, let alone use it. I don't want to be dependent on the kids all the time, and I want to be doing things for myself. Painting and decorating Alfie used to do when he was able. So this thing, how does it? Surely that extends something. I don't know. Well, I'll have to ask my kids about that one on. So it's quite a thick brush, and it's guaranteed for ever. I was looking going to say 15 years. It's guaranteed forever. So, but in my hands, there's no guarantee, let me tell you. That should be okay for doing the fence. And I've got another brush coming as well for the fence, and a paint bucket and a roller. So I reckon to do all around and the back, it's going to take me round about the springtime, round about end of February, March, because I'm going to have to wait for the weather to have a few days to let the paint dry. Although I think I've got the stuff that's fairly quick drying, so that should be all right as long as I've got 2 good days in a row. It's now about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I've spent the morning, what have I been doing? Washing. Looking for things that I've put down safe, put away safe, and I can't find them. don't know. You know what I was going to show? This was service for the celebration of the life of Alf. So he had that picture on the front, and I've got that picture on my wall over there, and then on the back my son chose that picture of our wedding day. Look what a handsome man. And still a handsome man all those years later. And even when he was passing away, you know, his beautiful face. I'm in limbo at the moment. I cried the other day. I cried and cried. But normally I'm not crying, I'm just feeling this emptiness. I should go and fetch my binny. It's down on the road. You know, the bin men have been this morning. Can't be bothered. He'll be doing it now. Gervais will be doing this in a bit, probably. Got that to take to my friend. I wrote her a little card, because she's written to me a couple of times, and I thought I'd just write to her. Why have I done it that way? I've got some lovely stickers, and I wanted to put a sticker on there, and I searched high and low for them this morning. I can't find them anywhere. I put on my Facebook this morning to see what reaction I get. How many friends I've got? About 3,500. Mostly from when I was doing animal liberation, more so than I do now. I was more involved. Some of the people I've met, some of them I haven't. You know, some have been at demos I've been at, etc. But I put on my Facebook this morning, to rent my house now, as it is, partly furnished, I would get around £1,500 a month for it. So you take out of that, you know, the agent's fees to oversee it, etc. So, but I'd still gain, and if I moved into a little cottage like the one I was looking at last week, just a little 2-bedroom cottage, rural, in the wilds, so I'd need a little car and to get my confidence back, just to go, you know, up the road. But that was £700 a month, I think it was. So if this was rented out for 1,500, that would leave me, after the agent's fees every month, it would leave me £600 or £700 over. I don't think I'd want to do it that way though. I think if I was going to move, I would sell and hope for the best price. This hasn't sold yet. It's on for 365. I'll have to drop that down to about 350. I think I will. And I'd get a bit less for this because I haven't got the extension on the back, which probably cost about 15,000 to do. But I'd expect round about 330, 340. 330 I'd be happy with. And that would leave me with the ability to put away like 20 years rent invested so that it's there and accruing interest each year, what's left in. It would also allow me to furnish the place, get a little car, put some in a savings account for a rainy day, and help the kids out a bit more. And I think that is what Alf would want me to do. He'd always say to me, you know, err on the side of caution. Be very careful what you're doing. Make sure. And I'm listening to him. I am listening very carefully. I hope you enjoyed the videos yesterday. And I'm thinking when I'm talking like this, you know, I haven't done it before, to do it and have a live stream so that we can interact. And I think that might be a nice thing to do. I don't know. We'll see. When I've got a bit more energy. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.